Hey everyone, and welcome back to Shuba Español TV. Today we're diving into some major news that could have a huge impact on your wallet. We're talking about Social Security, and specifically, the Social Security Fairness Act. This isn't just a small change, it's a massive shift that's already affecting millions of Americans. So, if you're curious about how this could benefit you or someone you know, stick around because we're breaking it all down. First off, let's talk about the scale of this. Social Security has been sending out significant payments, we're talking millions of dollars every single day. And this isn't just some rumor or speculation, this came straight from the Social Security Administration themselves. They announced it on their official X account, the platform formerly known as Twitter. So, this is as official as it gets. Now, I know what you're thinking, how much are we talking about here? Well, let me give you an idea. On February 25th alone, they sent out over 1,700 payments, totaling more than $12 million. Let me grab my calculator real quick, that's an average payment of over $7,000. Now, I know not everyone is going to receive that exact amount, but it really highlights the potential impact of this news. So, where's all this money coming from? It's all thanks to the Social Security Fairness Act, a law that was passed late last year and implemented in January of this year. The Fairness Act, what a name, right? I mean, who doesn't want fairness? But let's dig deeper into what this actually means and who it benefits. The Fairness Act impacts about 3.2 million beneficiaries. In the past, these individuals saw their Social Security benefits reduced or even completely eliminated. Why? Because of two provisions, the Windfall Elimination Provision, WEP, and the Government Pension Offset, GPO. If you've heard of these before, you know they can be a bit confusing. So, let's break it down. The Windfall Elimination Provision and the Government Pension Offset were initially designed to prevent what lawmakers called double-dipping of benefits. This mainly affected people who worked in jobs that didn't pay into Social Security, like some public service jobs, but later worked in jobs that did. The idea was to adjust their benefits to reflect their entire work history. However, critics argued that this led to reductions that weren't fair. Essentially, people felt penalized for having diverse work histories. That's where the Fairness Act comes in. This new law repeals those two provisions, the Windfall Elimination Provision and the Government Pension Offset. So, those 3.2 million people who had their benefits reduced? They can now receive their full benefits, unreduced. And to make up for those past reductions, Social Security is sending out lump sum retroactive payments. These are the payments we mentioned earlier, the ones totaling millions of dollars every day. Now, let's talk about the timeline. These retroactive payments are catching people up for a whole year of missed benefits, dating back to January 2024. The catch-up payments will continue until the end of March. Then, starting in April, those same beneficiaries will see an increase in their regular monthly checks. So, it's not just a one-time bonus, it's a permanent change. To put it simply, 3.2 million people could be receiving thousands of dollars in retroactive payments over the next few weeks. And starting in April, they'll see a permanent increase in their monthly checks. That's a significant financial boost, especially for those who've been relying on reduced benefits for years. But let's not forget the bigger picture here. We're talking about a lot of money. The estimated financial impact of the Fairness Act over the next 10 years is $196 billion. Yes, you heard that right, $196 billion. That's an enormous amount of money. So, what does this mean for Social Security itself and the overall economy? Well, on one hand, this could stimulate local economies. More money in people's pockets means they can spend more, which is good for businesses. But on the other hand, there are concerns about how this will affect Social Security's funding in the long term. How do we ensure the program remains stable for future generations? It's a complex issue, and one that economists and policymakers are grappling with right now. Now, let's talk about who specifically benefits from this act. I'm sure many of you are wondering, does this apply to me or someone I know? The key thing to remember is that this mainly affects people who worked in jobs that didn't require them to pay Social Security taxes, at least for a certain period of time. We're talking about certain public service jobs, teachers, firefighters, police officers, and others who participated in pension systems separate from Social Security. In the past, if these individuals later worked in jobs where they did pay into Social Security, their benefits might have been reduced due to the Windfall Elimination Provision or the Government Pension Offset. But now, thanks to the Fairness Act, they can receive their full benefits, regardless of their pension from a non-Social Security job. This is potentially life-changing for a lot of people, especially those nearing retirement or already living on a fixed income. Imagine suddenly receiving thousands of dollars in retroactive payments, plus a permanent increase in your monthly benefits. It could make a huge difference in their quality of life. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about the importance of staying informed. Financial literacy is a big focus here on Shuba Espanol TV, and this is a perfect example of why it matters. Policies change, and those changes can have a real impact on your finances. If you think you might fall into this category of workers who had their benefits reduced, don't wait. Reach out to Social Security directly. They can help you figure out if you're eligible and what steps you need to take. Even if you're not sure, it's always better to check. You might be surprised by what you learn. And while we're on the topic of being proactive, this is also a good time to think about your own retirement planning. Social Security is just one piece of the puzzle. Staying up to date on changes and understanding your benefits can help you make informed decisions for your future. Retirement planning isn't something you do once and forget about. It's an ongoing process. You need to stay involved, understand your benefits, and make a plan so you can feel secure. That's what we're all about here at Shuba Espanol TV, giving you the knowledge and tools to navigate these changes and make the best choices for yourself and your family. Sometimes, those choices can have a huge payoff. Like, for example, potentially receiving thousands of dollars you didn't even know you were owed. It's amazing, right? In a world where everyone's worried about money, this news brings a much-needed sense of hope. Things can change for the better. But let's not forget the bigger economic context. We've talked about the $196 billion price tag and what that means for Social Security's future. It's a complex issue, and one that's not going away anytime soon. Whenever we see big changes to programs like Social Security, it's important to consider the long-term implications. On one hand, this could boost the economy. Millions of Americans suddenly have more money to spend, which helps local businesses and supports jobs. But on the other hand, there are concerns about Social Security's sustainability. How do we ensure the program remains stable for future generations? It's a question that policymakers are actively working to address. The good news is that Social Security has been around for a long time, and it's adapted to changes before. There have been all sorts of adjustments and reforms over the years, and I'm confident that they'll find ways to address any funding challenges that come up. So, what's the main takeaway here? The Social Security Fairness Act is a positive development for millions of people. It's a reminder that Social Security matters. It's a safety net, and we need to keep fighting to protect it. Whether you're directly affected by this act or not, staying informed is key. Social Security is always changing, and understanding those changes can help you make the best decisions for your future. As we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave you with a sense of hope and maybe even a little excitement. If you think you might qualify for these benefits, don't wait. Contact Social Security. They can answer all your questions and help you figure out the next steps. And even if this doesn't apply to you, remember that staying informed is crucial. Social Security is a conversation that affects all of us. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe to Shuba Espanol TV so you don't miss any of our future deep dives. We've got some great stuff coming up: retirement planning, the latest trends in investing, and much more. We're here to help you navigate the world of finance and make smart choices for your future. Thanks for joining me today, and remember, knowledge is power. Until next time, keep diving deep.